All right, so how long have you been gardening here?
I moved into this home in June of 2018.
All right, great. So what would you say are some of the major changes that you've gone through at this property since you got here?
Well, the property, the positives of this property were a lot of older, mature plants. So I've got a lot of giant rhododendrons, giant azaleas, pine maple, stuff like that. So we were able to build around that, if you will.
Yeah.
So it didn't have any perennial gardens or anything of that nature, and I'd had a lot of those at my old house. So I brought a lot of plants with me and started to build out little spaces of the garden. I've bought 20 roses since I moved in, and a variety of other items. But I didn't buy what I already had. So
Sure.
kind of filled in the blanks.
Out of that, what would you say are your favorite plants or trees or?
Well, it's gonna sound silly, but
No.
I kind of love them all.
Yeah.
I think when you spend a lot of time in a garden, you kind of build relationships with
Sure.
all of the plants.
I love
Does
that.
Sound funny?
Yeah, no, I love that.
But I do love my climbing roses because they're so massive and so much color, and some of them have such great scent. So if I had to pick a favorite, I would probably say that. But how do you not love a 20-foot rhododendron when it's fully in bloom and all that stuff too? So
Fair question. On the fragrances note, that was something I noticed that that you and Diane commented on as you were building a fragrant garden. So what are some of your favorite scents in your garden
well,
specifically?
jasmine obviously is a big one. Honeysuckle is
Yeah.
huge. Some of my roses that have scent are fabulous. Phlox is great. I'm probably forgetting 100 of them that I walk by every day, but yeah. So we do think about, not everything has scent, but a lot has scent.
Very cool. What are some tools that you use? What are some tools that you can't live without? There you go.
That and a shovel, and you can do a lot of damage in a
You
yard.
sure can.
So yeah, that's good. The other thing I would say too is one of the things we love is we always love vegetables and growing our own. So we've incorporated our vegetable gardens into our flower gardens, if you will.
Yeah.
And so we kind of do a bunch of that stuff.
Since you have so much, what type of advice might you give to a beginning gardener? Just starting out.
Go for it. I mean, I don't know. It's just easy. It's not that hard. Look, I did it. So, and I'm no expert. I mean, read the label.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it needs light, put it in a light spot. If it needs shade, put it in a shady spot. If it's going to get tall, put it in the back of the garden. If it's not going to get tall, put it in the front of the garden. Done. I mean, I don't know a whole lot more than that. But
How long have you been gardening, would you say?
well, since I was about 10.
Oh, wow. That's great.
My parents had a 6 acres of property. We each got a part of a vegetable garden when we were kids, and we could plant our own stuff out. So
Wow, that's great.
I will blame my mom, who was the flower lady, and my dad, who was the vegetable garden guy.
That's awesome.
For that. So started gardening, built my yard, the first house I bought. And so that was 35 years ago. I put in my first yard, and every house we've been in, which is about 4 more, we've built out gardens.
Very
and so
nice.
I've learned a lot. I mean, it's just trial and error is probably the great to tell someone who's new.
Yeah.
Trial and error is the greatest tool you have. At least I have.
Right.
And don't be afraid.
All right, great. So tell us a little bit about, I understand an old lumber baron owned the property years back. What did that individual potentially leave for you, or how have you leveraged that component of the history?
I don't think it's benefited me a whole lot. I got one interesting tree out in the front yard,
All right.
but most have been cut down,
Yeah.
and when they built this development in here. So there is a tree across the street. I don't know the variety. Super large. I've been told it's the tallest of its kind west of the Mississippi. So we do have some
Really?
unique
Wow.
trees still in here. None of those reside on my property.
Okay.
But
All right.
but there are some remnants of the. I think I was told 10-20 acres, and some unique plants were planted.
How cool.
Yeah, I have a sequoia out front that's kind of interesting, but that's about the only unusual item that I have.
All right. So what are your next steps? What do you foresee in the future of your garden? Maybe a year from now, 5 years, 10 years? Where are you going with it?
Well, I think at this point, because of the garden show, that there's not a whole lot to add for next year. Next year, I'm taking off. I will do as I normally do. I'll keep it weeded. I'll keep it properly pruned, and and so forth. But I don't think I'm doing a lot next year with the gardens, to be
That's
honest.
fair. It's fair. It's gorgeous as it is. Anything else you want to add?
No, garden's fun. I think it's for those who enjoy digging in the dirt. It's a nice respite.
Yeah.
If you have a stressful job, it's a nice step away from that. And I think what I've learned in this yard, first of all, smaller than the yards I had before, so that's actually nice because you can focus on areas and do a little more intense work in small areas. But you don't have to spend a whole day. I used to spend a whole day weeding my old yards because I had too much stuff.
Yeah.
Here, an hour a day, whatever, evening or morning, is great to keep up, and that's nice.
That is nice. So a couple final questions. What interested you in hosting this year in the tour, and what, if any, objectives do you hope to achieve?
Well, so I guess your real question would be, why did I agree to host this year? Because I didn't solicit my yard, obviously.
Right.
Someone came to me and sent a group of people to look at it, and then sent me a letter inviting me to be part of the show. So no solicitation on my part.
Good.
Let's
All right.
be clear
All
on
right.
that. But I don't know. They caught me in a weak moment. And I said yes. I participate. I mean, I haven't participated, but I've been to a number of garden tours. In Woodinville, we did it almost every year. I had not done the one here.
Okay.
But no, I would say in a small, kind of proud of my gardens.
Of
I enjoy them. I've never done them for anybody else to enjoy. It's like, if I like it, I don't really care what somebody else thinks.
Right.
But,
It's a bonus.
I was delighted that someone was interested, and I wanted to be cooperative because I know it's not easy to get people to these shows, that kind of thing. And I thought, this would be a quick walk because these are small lots, but it still might be fun for people to see what a novice has done with their yard. So.
Well, you should be very proud, and we thank you again for being a part of it. This is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Invite. Yeah.